Okay, so we're recording. Hello everybody, my name is Heather and I am one of the learning technologists working for the Edtech demo project. My main remit has been the Loughborough team A, so you may have seen me if you've submitted some things marking your work. And obviously you'll see me on various videos and other training events as well. So today we're going to be looking at Wakelet. We're going to be focusing on Wakelet. It's a really fun tool. It's got so many different features on it. So this might be, we're going to kind of cover quite a lot today, hopefully. Feel free to pop any questions in the chat or raise your hand. I'll try and keep the meeting open as best as I can. But, if needed, just pop off mute if you want to. Okay, I'm hoping today you'll be able to sort of do a little bit of a collaboration. So I'm hoping we can do a bit of tasks together, so you can have a little feel for what the tool is and how to use it. Okay, hi everybody. Right, okay, so Wakelet. So hopefully you can all see that. Okay, so we're going to just look at an introduction to Wakelet, some uses, some examples, how we would set it up. We're going to have a little task to sort of have a go at sharing, collaborating on a Wakelet. We're going to look at spaces and Flipgrid, which are really cool features in Wakelet. We're going to look at the browser extensions on Edge as well, and the mobile app, which would be quite useful, I imagine, for quite a lot of people, students. And also we're going to look at sort of, different resources and what's available, and the MET course. Okay, so it's a bit of a meaty webinar, hopefully, and hopefully you get some really good things out of this. Okay, so Wakelet. Okay, I've been rather cheeky, and I have adapted this presentation from one that was actually given to us by Wakelet themselves. So I'm actually in the Wakelet community. I'm a community member, and part of that benefit is that you get resources from them. So they've integrated quite a lot of their own tutorials within this PowerPoint, which I will put at the end of this meeting. I'll pop it in the team so you can have a look at it. Okay. So what is Wakelet? Okay, so Wakelet is it's a really fantastic way of creating resources and creating collections of resources. So you can first of all, you can bookmark anything. So it's a space where you can actually take things like websites, articles, documents. There's so many different places that you can take your resources from. It integrates with so many different types of social media, makes YouTube, websites. There's lots of things that you can put into a Wakelet quite easily. Okay, it allows you to organize your content into these really visually engaging presentation style collections. You can create content in there, you can add in resources, you can create guides. There's lots of ways that you can use this, and also students can use this as well as a tool for themselves to create projects and things, which we'll come to in a second. Okay, so there's lots of different ways that you can use Wakelet. This is just an example of how it looks. It can be very visually engaging. And it can be as simple or as big or complicated as you want. Okay, you can collaborate on Wakelets. So Wakelets can be shared with other people. You can share them with staff members. You can share them with your students. You can also share like if you've ever used like the collaboration link on Sway or Forms, you can share those links out with fellow staff members. You can share them out with fellow students, with your students that you're working with, so that they can create and collaborate together. So this is and you're able to share these really easily, as you'll see. It can just be shared, a simple link, QR codes. Very all these things are quite familiar if you've ever used like the Flipgrid, or if you've ever used Forms or Sway, any of these kind of types of online technologies where you can just share things easily. Okay. So it does integrate with apps. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can share it in a OneNote. It also you can share it on Teams. You can you can really put these Wakelets in loads of different places. Here are just a few sort of ideas really. It has got Flipgrid integrated into Wakelet, so you can create Flipgrid videos within the Wakelet. Your students can create Flipgrid videos within the Wakelets, and obviously it has things like immersive reader in it as well, so it's a really accessible platform. So there's a few key features, like I've already mentioned. So you can collaborate, okay? So you can bring students together on one collection. You can share it with staff. They can add their own bits and pieces, which we'll have a little go at today. You can copy collections, so you can create something, you can copy it. Another staff member could use that. You can adapt it. Like I say, the immersive reader means that you can use you can translate. Students can use this to translate text. You can use this to translate text. You can have the text laid out in different backgrounds, different fonts, different font styles, and different colours as well. So any students with any kind of sort of disability, visual impairment, where they struggle with reading, the immersive reader is embedded throughout the entire tool. And you can embed the collection, so you can embed it if, for example, we've got Canvas. It does actually embed into other virtual learning environments. So if you have got another virtual learning environment, please do give that a try, because it works really well. I know it works very well in Canvas, and all of these have got little tutorials embedded from Wakelet, and they're really cool little tutorials which you can just sort of click into and just have a look at, see how that can work. But I will be showing you how to embed that into Canvas. Okay, so how can you use Wakelet? There are so many ways that you can use Wakelet. Here are just a few examples. You can use them as like a newsletter for your form group, or for your class, if you're full class, if you're in primary. You can basically use it as a collection to put together sort of websites, resources. You can upload things like PDFs to Wakelet, so you can create almost like a Wakelet for lessons, for topics, for subjects. You can bring it all together and share it really easily. You can create really nice interactive, lessons where students can sort of click into things and look at other things as well. You can also use it for things like lesson planning, and for your own personal development and research. I use Wakelet all the time for putting together sessions, for adding resources to sessions. If I've got a session, like if I was putting together say like a tips video, and I knew I'd have to integrate like a couple of little videos, maybe a couple of links to various things. Best thing for that would be a Wakelet for me, because then I can just share that easily, just link that off to somewhere. You could create your own little Wakelets of your journey here in the Edtech demo of videos and things you've come across, resources, loads of different ways you can use Wakelet. And how can students use Wakelet? So if your students are aged 13 and over, they can create their own Wakelet accounts. So they can basically, they can create their own accounts, and they can start using Wakelet for projects. They can start using Wakelet for assignments. If you're in, say, for example, you're working with year 7 students, or you're in primary, they can actually still share a collection with those learners, and they can still contribute to it without needing a Wakelet account. Okay, and there's loads of different ways you can use Wakelet. So you can set a Wakelet as an assignment. You can set up a collaborative Wakelet and have like a discussion on this. This would be really good for remote learning, because basically you can share that link with your students. And one of the really cool things about this is that it's got a mobile app as well. So, if your students, maybe are working from home, and maybe they don't have access to all the technology, they can still, use their phones to sort of do a Wakelet and contribute to that. And, there's lots of, research things, projects they can do. You can create sort of digital portfolios with them. So, and they can also, thinking also about, the FE, HE sector as well. Online CVs, Wakelet would be fantastic to do online CVs, and in other subjects, perhaps where they are, showcasing work to employers. Wakelet is a brilliant tool, because it's completely open access. They could share the link outside to those employers, and they could just see it straight away. Okay, so lots of reasons that you could use Wakelet. And how would non-teaching staff use Wakelet? Well, I'm a non-teaching member of staff. My main job is training you guys and training other people, and I use Wakelet all of the time. I use Wakelet to put together social activities. I've used Wakelet to put together websites that I've liked. I've done about 20 different sessions putting together my resources for Wakelet. I mean, these are just a few other examples. You know, if you're working sort of in pastoral support, you could use you could use Wakelet to put together things like mental health resources. You can use it for advertising events. You know, if you've got an event coming up, you know, or you've got an employer event coming up, you can attach Wakelets to that. You know, put together things like contact details for employers. You could put together websites, useful websites. You know, library staff as well. You could use that within the library to create things like, you know, links to your online resources, that sort of thing. And also, this is really good for parents as well. So one of the things we're going to show you is actually one of the schools put together, which I've come across, put together links to all the online resources provided by the school within the Wakelet. So here's a few ideas, which we've kind of gone across already. But basically, like I said, creating resources, bringing together websites, links, all sorts of stuff. You can use it for lesson planning. Okay, so if you've got a lesson that you're coming up, you can literally just put together your plan using sort of text, and then pull together the resources and things that you need in that. Pull that across on the screen, and you can just go for your Wakelet, almost like a presentation. Okay. Again, student assignments, brilliant for the, using for Wakelet. Research tasks, not just research tasks, but pulling together projects, pulling together, things like arguments and, anything that requires them to kind of, look and delve into different resources. And also, like I said, we've talked about sort of, newsletters, general bits of information that you can get out that require you to have more than, say, one thing at a time. You can bring that all together in a Wakelet and just share that as a link out there. Okay, so these are examples of Wakelet, so hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'll just put one of these. Okay. There we go. Okay, so this was one example. This was basically a primary school that basically put together their resources for their learners. Just realize. There we go. Okay, so this is basically, say, digital resources for primary school students and parents. So basically, you've got things like Cast Dojo, information for parents, there's a PDF there. It's also talking about how to actually use their resource. So they've used Cast Dojo, and they've basically done a little help guide there. So this is a really good way of just kind of displaying information. And when we come to the sharing, you'll see how easy it is to share those links out. Okay, so let's have a look at the other one. Here we go. Okay, this was another one that I looked at, which was basically just one that was just all about times tables. I'll just copy the other one. There's another one here. There's quite a few. I'm just going to show you, just so that you get a flavour of the things that you can use Wakelet for. Now, all of these I found in the public sort of library. So, if you're really not sure where to start with Wakelet, you can just search any subject, any kind of topic, and this will actually, all these types of things will come up, so you can have a look at them. So this is just mainly PDF. So basically, this has been used as a sort of, way to sort of collect resources together. Here's another one on biology resources. Here we go. Hopefully we can all still see that. Okay, I'll just do this as well. Okay, so this is online resources for teaching biology. So, there's and this is can you see this is slightly different to everything else? So this is basically changed the layout. So the layout of this is more of a kind of a mood board layout, where they've kind of just added things in, and it's kind of mixed it up a little bit. So there's some really cool things here. There's a YouTube link here. The PhET simulations. I know that Elaine's done a video on that. If you want to check that out in the online library, online learning channel. And yeah, there's just loads of different things that this teacher's obviously put together that they thought would be really useful. It's obviously it is American, so you'll come across some American resources and obviously from other countries, but it just gives you an idea about what it can potentially look like. I'll just show you this other one here. That's the BTEC Public Services. So any of our FE college colleagues on the call, obviously can be so useful for, for FE as well. And I'll just show you another one, which is this is a really cool one. I'll just, while that's loading, there we go. Yeah, so this is all about different units. This is I just sort of searched for public services and this one came up. So it's sort of they've shared different videos, they've shared news articles within this as well. So all of these are related to this particular unit, and obviously this has been used as a teaching tool for that. I just show you this next one. Okay, so this is actually an online lesson that's been used by a year 6 teacher. They've used Wakelet basically as a lesson plan, and they've added in all their sort of resources as well as laying out what they need to do. Oh, hang on, let's just try that again. Let's try that again. Sorry. Oh no, oh no. Oh, do you know, I'm so sorry. I've copied and pasted the link too many times. Oh, that's so annoying. I was hoping to show you that. Let me see if I can find it for you. Let me just see if I can find it for you. This is how you can search for Wakelet. So I'll just show you this. So I just put in year 6 in here because I was trying to find things for primary school. Okay, and basically this will just come up with everything that's on here that's by year 6. Let me just try that again. There we go. Year 6. There we go. There we go. That's what I was after. Yeah. So this, So this is basically, a teacher has actually used Wakelet to put together all their lessons. I'm just going to click on this, and you can have a see. So these are all things that people have already created and have made public. Okay. So this was an online lesson that is set up. As you can see, you've got your text there. And they've got a description of what they want to do first. Right, this is what you're going to do. They've put a video in there. They've then added what they need to do for the next activity. They've added a web link. There's an image there that was really lovely. And then they've got a reading activity. So basically, this is creating an entire online lesson using Wakelet and linking the students off to the different resources. Mixed, as a mixture of images. And the great thing about this, because it's obviously in this particular layout, is that the students can just scroll down and they can just move from one thing to the next. Okay, so this is obviously something that's been done, through lockdown as a way of creating an online lesson. Okie dokie. Right, let's go back to the presentation. So basically, we're just going to do a little demo of what you need to do. If you just go to wakelet.com, you can sign up using your normal sort of work email address. So let's go to Wakelet. Okay, so yep. This will probably just keep me signed in, so you can have a look. Okay, so this is my sort of main profile, but when you come to wakelet.com, essentially you can just sign in using your, you just sign up using your normal work email address. Okay, and basically, we're going to look at starting. How do you actually create a collection? Okay, so you've got this lovely, nice big button when you sort of start to create a collection. So which you're going to use, and we're going to click on that. Okay, so we're going to enter a title for our collection. Okay, so I'm just going to put in here Wakelet webinar. Wakelet webinar. Okay, and then you can just put your description in here. Okay, feel free, you know, if you're on the call, feel free to sort of, you know, have the call on if you just want to, you know, just have it open and listen to me while you're doing this, to if you wanted to just kind of follow along. So if you wanted to add an image to this, you can add a cover image. You can either upload from your computer, or you can choose from library. I'm going to choose from library. Unsplash is I think it's quite a nice little nice sort of online tool for this. There we go. And then you just select your photo and that will appear. There we go. Okay, if you wanted to change this background here, you can just go to the settings in the little cog in the corner here and then click on add background image. And again, your same thing again. There we go. You can just select that and then that will change your background image. So it just makes it really nice and engaging. Okay, so what do we need to do to add sort of content to it? So we've added in our images, we've created the collection. Okay, if you want to add content, we use this plus button down at the bottom here. Okay, so as you can see, I can paste a web link in there. Okay, which I can do. I can just literally just copy. There's one there. Okay, let's go to this, and I can just paste that in there, and that will appear. I can also add text if I wanted to. So there's different things I can add in there. Okay. Okay, and I can also, if I just wanted to go back to that, I can also change the heading style. I can add bullet points. I can even link that text if I wanted to sort of add a link within. If I didn't want to just directly link to a website, I could link, you know, I could link off within there as well. So we can also add, you can also add like YouTube's, tweets, bookmarks, which is basically from your bookmarks that you already have. So every time you add a website or every time you add a video, you're creating a bookmark. Okay, you're creating you know, a link within your profile. So if I wanted to add something to this, one of my previous bookmarks that I've already found, I can just click on that and then just go into just add that there. And that will add my bookmark to that. You can add images and you can upload PDFs. It does link to Google Drive. Those of you, we're not Google, but you also can add in OneDrive sort of links as well, and the Flipgrid video creator, okay, which is very cool, which we're going to look at. So you can create, you and your students can create Flipgrid videos within Wakelet. Okay, so this is a very basic Wakelet, as you can see, but we've kind of started to pull together some different types of information. If I wanted to change the layout, I can do so by clicking on change layout at the top, and I've got this is the media view. Okay, and this is kind of how a lot of, well, certainly my collections end up, because it's kind of very linear. It kind of goes from one thing to the next. Okay, you can change it to compact view, okay, which just, you know, displays your, you know, content as tiles and descriptions. Okay, so this doesn't really change it that much for this situation. The grid view, again, it basically, again, doesn't give it too much order with this one, but it just changes how it looks. And the last one, which is the mood board view, which in my experience, a lot of learners tend to like, if they're not putting their sort of information in a linear way. The mood board view is quite a nice way of looking at it, because kind of all the information is kind of, you know, placed around pretty much like a collage. Okay. Now, if I want to, at the moment, this collection is classed as private, so only I can see this. Okay. If I want to share this with somebody, okay, I will need to change this to unlisted. Okay, so I'll change it to unlisted. Now, what this means is that I can share the link with somebody and I can share this collection out, but I'm not making it public, so not everyone can see it. So when if you saw earlier on when I was searching through the information, basically that's all those wakelets that were coming up. They were basically being made public. But if I don't want to make it public, I don't have to, because I can just make it unlisted. Okay, so I'm gonna make it unlisted. Okay, right, so okay, so if I wanted to share this with somebody, okay, I'm going to click done. Okay, so I've selected as unlisted. I've technically finished my webinar, even though I haven't, but we've finished it. We click done. There we go, and there is my webinar. Sorry, where is my Wakelet? Sorry, I'm seeing webinar. Okay, if I want to share this with somebody, I can click this share this collection at the top. Okay, and I have it's going to generate a web link for me. Now, there's lots of different ways that I could share this. As you can see, I can just copy that link and I can just send that to somebody in an email. I could share it with my students. You know, however you want to share that. You can also use there's also a QR code option here. So if you're in class, one of the ways it's really good to use QR codes, if you're in class and your students have phones and they are able to use their QR code reader on the phones, on iPhones it works just literally by like scanning one using the camera app. But they can just hold their you could share this on the board and then they can scan that, and then obviously they could just see their Wakelet on their phones. Or you can obviously put this in a presentation or somewhere so they can do that later. You can share it through things like Google Classroom, Teams, Twitter, and there's like Facebook as well on there, and there's a few other bits and pieces that you can embed into. You can also export it as a PDF if you wanted to like print it out. Okay, so if you're thinking, well, you know, I need, you know, sort of paper copies of whatever I'm doing, or maybe these students that need to sort of do paper copies, they can export it as a PDF, and you can embed it. Okay, and this is what I was sort of really sort of you know, really kind of passionate about, because one of my main things is I sort of do a lot of training on the VLE, so be able to embed this into the VLE is pretty cool. So if I just copy that embed code, I've got a page open on Canvas already. Oh, let me just move that there. Oh, I hate this. I can never move this out of the way. There we go. There we go. Okay, if I just, so I've just copied that embed code there, and if I go in Canvas, this is yeah, I can just insert this using the embed or insert or edit media button. If I paste that in there, that embeds into Canvas. So you can interact with it as well. So anywhere that you can embed it, you can interact with it. So as you can see, I can click on these links. Okay, so if you're using a VLE, you know, check out how you can embed content into your VLE. You know, I mean, we have Canvas. I know there's like Moodle, Blackboard. Check out how you can embed content into VLE, because this can create some really cool interactive resources for your students. Okay, I'm just going to stop because I realised. Has anybody got any questions before we carry on?
No, it's all good so far.
Okay, that's good. I'm just conscious that I haven't had any chats or anything like that, but as long as everyone's happy, that's okay. I'm going to get you to do something in a minute anyway.
Did you say, oh sorry, did you say with Flipgrid that they could record back into it? Because I've just tried doing it one and it would only let me record using the Flipgrid.
Yeah, well, if you it only lets whoever's on the Wakelet like record onto it, but if you shared that out with your students and they had access to it, they'll be able to add to it.
Got you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry if I'm looking at you there. I've sort of 3 screens open at the minute. I'm trying
I did the same.
Okay, so Right, where were we at? Yes, so sharing, so sharing Wakelets. Yes, I just want to show you how you can share it on a OneNote, because I know some of you are using OneNote. So if you just copy that link, and I've just got a OneNote open here. And if you literally just paste that in the browser version, I think you have to Control-V on this. Yes, there we go. Now, here's a little trick. If you just paste that in there, so you've copied the link, you Control-V into OneNote, press Enter, the magic happens and it embeds into OneNote. So if you're using Class Notebook with your students, if you've created Wakelets, you can put those into the content library or share them with your students, or even your students can create Wakelets and embed those into their own section, their own areas. So yeah, embeds really nicely into OneNote, and then you can see them and it's all there and it's all great. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to I'm going to just show you something now, because I'm going to get you to sort of well, if you can, I know it's sometimes tricky to kind of switch from Teams meetings to things, but if you can, this would be really great. I'm going to get you to try and contribute to a Wakelet. So when you actually create a Wakelet, you can invite contributors to your Wakelet. So if I was to click invite here, I can share this link with somebody, and they can then access that Wakelet, and they can add things into that Wakelet or change things or view those things in the Wakelet. I can also get a code. I can also get a QR code as well. Okay. I can also, if I wanted to send this to somebody so that they can contribute, I can type in an email address. Okay, and you can do it to the students as well. I did this morning with one of our testing students, worked brilliantly. They got an email straight away to say you've been invited to view this Wakelet. They could click on the link, go to the Wakelet, and they could add to it straight away. And if you managed to follow anybody, so if you follow other educators on Wakelet, which you can do, which we'll look at, you can add those as contributors as well. Okay, so if I just put in an email address in here, for example, one of our testing students' email addresses. If I click add, and then it's got it up there. If I click send, there we go. That person will then receive an invite, okay, to come and view and contribute to the collection. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little go at that now. Okay, so I'm just going to get you to contribute to a collection. So I've already created a little collection for us. There we go. And I have the link ready. So what I'd like you to do, I've just got this on the slideshow here. There we go. So if you want to, you can either there's a code there or there's a QR code there. But what I'm going to do, if you have access to the chat, I'm just going to paste that into the chat. Come on. And if you're able to access that in the chat, you can click on that. And it'd be really great if we had some contributors. So I won't go back to it just now because I'm conscious that leave it up there so you can sort of see it.
Do you have to find it first before using the code, or you can search the code? Because I'm on the so how to find it that way?
Actually, yes, you just caught me out there. I've never actually used the code before. Let me just have a look. I've just popped it on there and I've just realised I've never actually used it before. I've used the QR code before and I've used the obviously the link. Let's just have a look.
Heather, I'm into your Level Up Wakelet for collaboration. I can see.
Excellent.
Can see the introduction to Wakelet in 10 minutes.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. So that's we're in. We are in. Okay, I'm just looking for this. I'm looking for the code. Looking for the code. 4C1. Okay, I'll have to just double check with the code. I shouldn't have. Yeah, I'll have to work that out. But yeah, if you, has anybody else managed to get on with the link? Code.
I have.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. You want to just add a website or something to it and have a little go at adding something to it?
Oh.
See if you can use the little plus buttons on it. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. See. Let's have a look. Yeah, so if you wanted to have a go, just simply you should be able to edit collection. And then you should be able to use the plus button. There we go. There we go. I've got people in it. Excellent. I've got Maria, I've got me, I have Susan, I have Ian, and I have is it Shanaz? Yeah. I've got people on it. This is good. Yay! Yes, I have people in it. This is good. Oh, that's not that there. Has everyone added something? Got anything on there? I think we've got most people added. Feel free to change the layout or mess about with it. Oh, Ian, I found where the code is. Ian, I found, there we go. If you have a look here on the home page, It says enter code. Did you try that?
Oh, right, hold on.
It's all right. There is there. Sorry, I've never used the code, but I've always just used links and things. So yeah, that's why if you go to the home page, if you haven't signed up, I think it was confusing me because it had already signed me in. So if you haven't got an account and you go into that home page, it allows you to enter the code. So if I just pop that code in, let me just go back. Where's my code? What's that? Okay. Oh, I've got too many things open now. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, and then click join. Oh, anonymous purpose. There you go. So this is in private browser. So as you can see, I've not needed to sign in. So again, if you wanted your students to just have a go at contributing to something or working together on something, this could be a really good option. Coming along. And this is like an incognito browser because I'm not signed into anything on here. And there we go. I can see all my Wakelets. And I can edit the collection. And I'll edit my own, add my bits to it. Come on. Okay, right, so I think I've just got lots of things open now. It's struggling a little bit. It's just had, there we go. There we go. Done. Right, okay, right, I'm going to come off that because I think we've all kind of got to grips with how we can use that to collaborate, which is awesome. So just next thing I'm just going to have a look at is Wakelet spaces. So Wakelet spaces are basically ways of organizing your collections. So if you notice, if you sign up for Wakelet, which we'll go to here. There we go. So when you sign up for Wakelet, you'll notice there's a little, you just kind of got the sort of dashboard looks a little bit like this. So this is kind of your main sort of profile. And this is where all your sort of initial collections will go into. So if you create a collection, you'll just be given this kind of your sort of first initial profile. And, you know, some people have like, you know, hundreds of collections. You know, they use this all the time. This is kind of their main like tool for using, you know, for the main kind of tool that they use in class and with their students all the time. We've got a member of staff over at the Academy, Alan Stevenson, who is our resident Wakelet ambassador. He's absolutely fantastic. He does training on Wakelet all the time. His Wakelet collections are amazing. And he's, you know, he's really passionate about this stuff and he uses it all the time. Oh. Are you back, Ian?
Yeah, I had to change the Teams thing to look at the Grimsby code, and I did it. Just kicked me straight off.
No, sorry.
Back in. But yeah, I'm in it now.
Okay, we're back. Okay, we're just looking at spaces. So yeah, spaces are basically a way of organising your collections. So if you wanted to, say for example, you end up with lots and lots and lots of collections, a way of organising is into spaces. So you can see these are kind of some of the collections that I've got. They're a bit random. I've not really organised these ones, either just like my personal random collections that I've put together, you know, or they don't really fit anywhere. Now I have created a space called Edtech training. So a space is just basically, it's a space where you can put all your collections. And if I wanted to join or create a space, I can just literally click this button at the bottom, and I can add in a space. And what will happen is this will pop up here at the side. So if I click on this space that I've called Edtech Training, it's almost creating another little mini profile for you. And these have got all the different collections that I've done. So like I said before, I use this a lot for a lot of the other training sessions that I do, especially when it comes to you know, teaching people about a lot of different types of things in one session. If I'm going to do like teams, there's quite a lot of things around teams, or for specific departments. So I'll use Wakelet a lot in this. So this is my kind of space for all my training, and obviously I can reuse these and share these out again and adapt them. But if I wanted to, I can share this space with other people. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could. So see you've got here members at the bottom. So Alan has actually, I've invited Alan, who I've just spoken about, to just, you know, to share my space with me. And then what he can then do is he can contribute his own collections. He can view different things in the collections. And if I wanted to invite, say, another member of staff onto this space, I can just click go to invite members. And I can send them a link, I can send them a code, or I can invite them by username or email. Okay, so these are all the people that I have previously has contributed to various things that I've done. So I could just simply click off the list of those and just click add, and they will add them as a member. And as you can see, if I go into my collections, Alan has very kindly added in some of his own collections here. So these are all things that Alan has added himself. Okay, so it's a really good way of bringing together different resources from different staff members, and these are just some of the ones that you know, Alan has created. You know, so these are all things that sort of have helped him. So he's used this kind of very sort of media view here. But yeah, so you can see, so spaces are really, really cool. They allow you to really organize your collections. And one of the ways you could potentially use spaces is you could divide them, you know, you could use spaces for certain classes. Like you, for example, if you had a class and you know that, you know, you want them to, you know, you know they're going to be working on Wakelets together, or you're going to be setting them assignments, you could create a space just for that class. You could create a space just for topics. I know Alan's got a lot. I mean, these are, you know, I'm not the best for spaces. I know Alan, when he's on his profile, he's got about, you know, he's got many spaces because he's a history teacher, and he also teaches things like business and finance and all sorts of things. So he's got lots and lots of different spaces on his account. And like I say, you can arrange it all by different topics, different year groups, etc. Yeah, so you can really use this for, you know, quite a huge amount of stuff. So that's your spaces. It's a really cool little feature, and again, you can share that with other people. I'll just show you the Flipgrid video. So let me just go back to this little video, little Wakelet that we're doing. So if you wanted to, I've not actually done I'll show you the video that I've done. I've not done I'm not going to demo it because I think it's going to probably kill my computer. So I did a little video tutorial, but basically when you go to add something to your Wakelet, I say Flipgrid, when you add something to your Wakelet, something went wrong. Boo. When you go to your plus button at the bottom, you can actually, where it says video, you click on that. This will actually allow you to access the Flipgrid camera, and you can record a video. Oh, it's let me do it. Hey, hello. Now you can see my Wakelet t-shirt as well. Yay. So you can see that I've got you know, my I've got the cameras actually come up, and I can actually record a video. So, you know, you again, if you could share a Wakelet with, I mean, obviously you can use Flipgrid for this as well, but for example, if you wanted to share a Wakelet with your students and you wanted them to share resources on there, and maybe you wanted just a short Flipgrid video from them to explain their processes or what their resources are, or maybe just to answer a quick question, you can do this in Wakelet. And also, you know, thinking about your online lessons as well, this would be a really good tool for if you've got any sort of online asynchronous lessons that you want to do, for you to really sort of connect and provide a bit of I suppose a personable approach to some of the resources, because you could sort of introduce some of the resources, explain them a little bit more, so you could add your own little Flipgrid videos on there. Okay, I'm not going to record that, but if you are interested in using the Flipgrid camera, we have got some videos on the online learning channel if you want to have a look at that. But basically, once you've recorded it, it embeds into the Flipgrid, as you can see here, as this one I did earlier. Okay, so embeds into the Flipgrid embeds into Wakelet. There we go, as you can see there. So lots of different ways that you can use Wakelet. Okay, I have got as well a couple more things to finish off with. I'll keep this brief because I know we're sort of closing up onto time. The other thing is, I'll just go on back to my slides a second. The other thing is the Wakelet browser extension. Okay, so if you've got, you know, if you're able to add extensions to your browser, you know, Edge, Chrome, etc. What this means is that you're able to essentially add any websites, any sort of, you know, anything to your Wakelet collections. It's really, I'll just go on to here. There we go, as you can see. So I've got the Wakelet extension there. If I wanted to say, add, you know, this website to one of my Wakelet collections, say if I've been searching through things, I just want to add stuff to collections as I'm thinking about my resources, thinking about building my lessons, I can click on the Wakelet sign there, and this will bring up my Wakelet dashboard. So it's asking me, okay, it's giving me my spaces down here, look, give my different spaces if I wanted to add my spaces to that. And if I wanted to, basically just whichever Wakelet I want to add these to, I can just click save, and then that'll pop into that Wakelet. Okay, you can also just save it to your bookmarks, which are like I said, anything you add to a Wakelet, it just basically is like a bookmark that you use. Okay, there's also the mobile app, which is a really cool little tool that you can use, which students will find really useful. I'll just go back to my presentation. There we go. Which is this very simplified version of Wakelet. It doesn't have all the functionality. It doesn't have things like the Flipgrid Camera on there and stuff, but it does allow students to very quickly just save websites and things to their phone. I'll just show you the video that I'd created for this. It's not very long. Just turn off that. There we go. Okay, so like you see, the Wakelet app is at the bottom. When it opens up, it just opens up the main sort of your main profile with the bits and pieces that you've added onto your main sort of first profile. As you can see, you've got your bookmarks, you've got your different collections. You can search through the different Wakelets that are available, like say on the public domain, and you can create a collection on the phone app as well. Oh, there we have just to move that out of the way. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and when you sort of add stuff to that collection, as you can see, you are limited on that. You know, you can just add a link, an image, a Twitter, you know, from Twitter or from your previous bookmarks. So there's not the same amount of functionality, but you could just add, you know, a website in there, or sort of curate some resources. So if I'm on my phone and, you know, I'm on an app or something, or I'm on a website, I can just go to share that as I would. And I've got the little Wakelet sign there, but if it's not there, you can just either click on that to share it to Wakelet if you've already got it on there, or you can just click share, and you can just share it with your Wakelet as you would if you're sharing on Messenger, etc., etc. Okay. So yeah, Wakelet app available on mobile. Say just quite a lot more pared down, but it's still quite useful. Okay, community and student ambassador program. Okay, so there's a few cool, really cool programs that you can get involved with Wakelet. You can become a part of the community member. You can become part of the community. You can become a Wakelet ambassador. A Wakelet ambassador is very, very cool. But does require you to sort of really commit to Wakelet and sharing it out and helping other people with Wakelet. And there's also the student ambassador program, which is a very cool program which allows you know students to say how much they're using Wakelet and loving Wakelet. And these are all part of the you know, the what's available to you. If you just have a look at wakelet.com, there's a little link there as well. I know I didn't sort of cover this that much, but basically, if you did want to have for what's actually out there, you can search for Wakelets at the top, and this will actually search for all the public Wakelets that are available. So anything that you want to find in there, you can just search for, and it'll come up with, you know, Wakelets that you can then sort of use, duplicate, you know, and get ideas for. Let's go back to the presentation. So what would I recommend? So basically just have a go. So, you know, sign up using your normal work account, have a go, create something, share it with your students, even if it's just a resource or just like a collection of stuff that you would normally share with them. Have a go, embed it somewhere. And yeah, just see how it goes. And, you know, and if you want to get your students involved, get them creating Wakelets, get them collaborating. There is a course on the Microsoft Educator community called Surfing the 5 Cs with Wakelet. The link is on there, so if you want to have a look at that. And there's also, Wakelet are so like good at communicating with you. So if you are somebody that tweets, you know, if you just at Wakelet or hashtag Wakelet Wave. Wakelet Wave is the thing that we're doing at the minute. You can. You know, they are very responsive to messages, and they love it when people share out their ideas and share stuff. So if you are into Twitter, you know, and you start using Wakelet, be sure to, you know, tell them, because they really get really excited. And you do, if you know, take part in things and, you know, you take part in the competitions and stuff, sometimes you get swag, which is quite cool. Yeah, they are people that like giving out swag as well, which is also good. It's a huge platform. It's a huge platform, and they're trying to get more people involved. Okay, so I've come to the end of it. I appreciate that was a long session, but as you can tell, I love Wakelet. I think it's a fantastic tool. There's so many things you can do with it. Hopefully you've got some ideas about how you can use it. If you would like, you can use that code to get some points for this training. If you want to just go to education.microsoft.com, click on your profile, click redeem achievement code, and pop the code in, and then you can get some points. But if anybody's got any questions, feel free, pop off mute now. I'm just going to stop the recording for the moment. Let me just have a look.